So, very good morning once again. And let's begin with a quick question. How many times have you said something in anger and then spend the next 3 days, or even let's say 3 years, wishing you could take it back? How many times have you reacted so quickly that by the time the words left your mouth, you already regretted them? And yet, in that moment, it felt so justified, didn't it? Like you had no choice. Like the word just erupted out of you like a pressure cooker whistle that couldn't be stopped. So we've all been there, right? That moment when someone says something, does something, or doesn't do something, and suddenly we are not ourselves anymore. We are just a ball of reaction, fury, hurt, defensiveness. And later, when the dust settles, we think, that's not who I want to be. Why do I keep doing this? So, today we are going to explore something that can change the entire quality of your relationship and your life. Mindful responses versus emotional outbursts. So, let's get honest about what actually happens during an emotional outburst. Something triggers you. Maybe it's a comment, a tone of voice, a forgotten task, a perceived disrespect, and in that millisecond, your body responds before your brain catches up. Your heart races, your face gets hot, your jaw clenches, and before you know it, words are flying out. Sharp, cutting words designed to hurt because you are hurting. And here's the truth: emotional outbursts come from unprocessed feelings. Let me repeat that. Emotional outbursts come from unprocessed feelings. They're not about the present moment, they're about everything you have been swallowing, suppressing, and accumulating. The exploitation or the explosion, I would say, isn't about the unwashed dish in the sink. It's about 6 months of being feeling unappreciated. It's not about your teenager's tone. It's about feeling disrespected in multiple areas of your life. It's not about one late night at work. It's about years of feeling invisible. So the current trigger is just the match. The real fire has been building for a while. And here's what makes it worse. After the outburst, we feel terrible, guilty, ashamed. I shouldn't have said that. But we don't know what else to do because the feelings are real, the hurt is real, and we haven't learned another way. So, the metaphor I want you to hold on to: a pause is the bridge between chaos and clarity. I would say to just note it down. A pause is the bridge between chaos and clarity. Let me give you a scenario every Indian woman will recognize. You've been managing the house all day, cooking, cleaning, coordinating everyone's schedules, solving everyone's problems. You are exhausted. Your husband comes home, walks past the spotless kitchen, sits on the couch, and says, "What's for dinner?" Oh, no, thank you for everything you do. He never says that. Not, "You must be tired." Just, "What's for dinner?" And something in you just snaps. What's for dinner? That's all you care about? Don't you see anything else? Or do you see me? Do you have any idea what I've been doing all day while you were sitting comfortably in your office? He's shocked, defensive. I just ask a simple question. Why are you overreacting? And now you're both hurt, both angry, both misunderstood. The entire evening is ruined. And the real issue? That you feel unseen and unappreciated never actually gets addressed. Or here's one for the men. You're in a meeting, you prepare thoroughly, you present your idea, and your colleague immediately picks it apart in front of everyone. Not constructively, but dismissively. You feel your credibility being questioned, your effort being minimized. And after the meeting, someone asks you a simple question about timelines and you snap at them. If people actually paid attention instead of criticizing everything, maybe you would make progress. The outburst wasn't really about that person. They just happened to be standing in the blast radius. कहते ना कहीं एक साथ फटते हैं. And here's what these outbursts cost us. They damage relationships, erode self respect, and prevent real communication. The person on the receiving end gets defensive, and the real issue stays buried. And we prove to ourselves that we are out of control, which makes us feel even worse. And now, let's change it. Let's talk about mindful responses because they come from awareness and pause. Because pause has created that bridge we were talking about. Mindful doesn't mean weak. It doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or being a doormat. It means having the self awareness to recognize. I'm triggered right now, and the self control to not let that trigger dictate your behavior. Let's replay the first scenario. Your husband asks, "What's for dinner?" You feel that familiar heat rising, but instead of erupting, you pause. Just 3 breaths. Breathe. You notice, I'm feeling angry. My chest is tight. Feel. You recognize. This isn't really about dinner. I'm feeling unappreciated. Choose. From this place of awareness, you respond. I need to tell you something. वैसे तो कोई वाइफ इतना ही कह दे तो हस्बैंड के सारे डिफेंसिव एंटेना खड़े हो जाते. राइट? आई नीड टू टेल यू समथिंग. And when you come home and immediately ask about dinner without acknowledging everything else, I feel invisible. I need to feel seen. Is that easy? No. Is it more effective? Absolutely. Because now you're communicating the real issue. You're not attacking. You're not word vomiting your accumulated resentment. You're clearly stating your need. And that gives the other person an actual chance to understand and respond meaningfully. So, pausing protects relationships and self respect. It protects the relationship because you're not saying things you'll regret. It protects your self respect because you're acting in alignment with who you want to be, not who your triggered emotions want you to be. Here's the distinction I need you to understand. Response is power, reaction is habit. So when you react, you're on autopilot. You're doing what you've always done, you're letting your nervous system drive. But when you respond, you are in the driver's seat. You're consciously choosing your words, your tone, your approach, and you're using your adult brain, not your wounded child's emotions. And I would say it's not wrong to say that graphotherapy actually teaches this. It helps us respond to situations, not react. That is why consistent graphotherapy is needed. And you might be thinking, but in that moment, I can't pause. It's too intense. Words तो अपने आप बाहर आते. I hear you. And here's why: we have never practiced pausing. We have spent our entire lives reacting and then apologizing, reacting and then feeling guilty, reacting and then promising ourselves we'll do better next time, but never actually learning how to do better. The pause feels impossible because it's unfamiliar. Your body is screaming, respond now. Your emotions are screaming, defend yourself. And you've never trained yourself to do anything different. But here's the good news: this is a skill. Like any skill, it gets easier with practice. The first few times will feel awkward, forced, maybe even impossible. But each time you practice, you're rewiring your brain. You're creating a new pathway. You're teaching yourself that between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space lies your freedom. So here is your practice, and it's beautifully simple: the three breath rule. Breathe, feel, choose. I repeat, the three breath rule. Breathe, feel, choose. So today, when something triggers you, big or small, pause for three breaths before responding. Breath one, just breathe. Don't do anything else. Don't think about what you'll say. Just breathe and notice you are breathing. Be aligned with your breath. Then, breath two, feel what's happening in your body. What emotion is present? Name it silently. I'm angry, or I'm hurt, or I'm frustrated. Just acknowledgement, no judgment. And then breath three. Choose. How do you want to respond? Not how you feel like responding. What would your wisest, calmest self say? Then and only then speak. So three breaths takes maybe 10 seconds. 10 seconds that could save a relationship, 10 seconds that could preserve your dignity, 10 seconds between chaos and clarity. I won't lie to you. There will be times when you forget, times when you react before you remember to pause. But that's okay. You're still practicing. This isn't about perfection, it's about practice. Each time you catch yourself after reaction, that's data. Each time you manage even one breath of pause, that's progress. And here's the beautiful truth about mindful responses: you're not just changing your communication, you're changing your relationship with yourself. So every time you pause, you're telling yourself, I am more than my initial reaction. I have self control. I'm not a victim of my emotions. Every time you choose a thoughtful response over an automatic outburst, you are building self trust. And over time, something miraculous happens. The triggers don't disappear, but they lose their power. You become the kind of person who can remain calm in chaos, who can feel anger without becoming anger, who can be hurt without hurting others. So today, commit to the three breath rule. Just today. Don't worry about tomorrow or next week. Just practice today. When your child talks back, pause, three breaths. When your partner forgets something important, pause, three breaths. When someone cuts you off in traffic, pause, three breaths. And when your boss sends that email, pause, three breaths. So breathe, feel, choose. Because a pause is the bridge between chaos and clarity. And on the other side of that bridge is a version of you who responds from wisdom, not wounds, who communicates from clarity, not confusion, who shows up as your best self even when it's hard. You deserve relationships where you are heard, not feared, where you are respected, not resented. And that starts with the space you create between what happens to you and how you respond to it. So let's practice the pause today. Let's choose response over reaction. Let's build that bridge to clarity, one breath at a time. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.